Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Santiago. I'm really glad that you're back here seeing another tutorial. In the previous video, we were checking out a software called OpenArt. This is a software that is aimed at different artistic disciplines. In the previous video, we created a character model using some images. We changed the poses of the character. We used some prompts to create different actions that the character was performing. If you haven't checked out that first video, I really invite you to do so. This is tutorial number 2 regarding this software, OpenArt. I'm gonna be making 5 different tutorials regarding this software. As I was telling you in the previous video as well, I'm using one of the paid plans of the software, but you can use a bunch of free stuff using the software as well. If you want to use some of the paid plans, we have some affiliate links on the description box down below for you to use. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I really invite you to do so you don't miss out any of the tutorials. And today we're going to be checking out some other functionalities that the software has to offer. We're going to use the AI Stylize tool so we can change how an image looks using a reference and a style of reference. I have some images of different things that I've uploaded to my computer, and I have some stylized references for the software to use. I'm gonna make my face disappear so I can show you my screen much better. See you guys at the end. Once again, this is OpenArt AI homepage. In the previous video, we used this option right here, the characters tab, but in this video, we're gonna be checking out one of the AI tools that the software has to offer that I find really cool, and you can change how some of the images that you want to use change looks. So if we go to the AI tools tab, we can check out all of the options that the software has to offer. We have some creative concepts such as sketch to image or image blender, where you can blend 2 images to create a third image. We have some image editing where you can magic brush an image, you can upscale an image, you can remove something from an image, and you can do a bunch of stuff. What we're gonna be using today is this option right here that is called Stylize. It is used to change the style of an image using a reference and making it similar to the reference image, but using the original image. We're gonna click on this option right here, and we're gonna upload an image. I'm gonna upload this image. This is a landscape that I took on a trip where I went last weekend. I'm gonna upload this image. We can use some of these tools to edit our image before we change the style. We can smart select part of the images. If we click that option, the software is gonna take a couple of minutes to analyze the image, and you can pick different parts of the image. We can pick the sea, for example, we can pick the mountains, we can pick the sky, or we can pick the sand of this specific image. You can remove background when there are subjects that are clear in the image, let's say of a person with a background. You can remove the background for you to add another background that you want to use. You can crop the image. You can convert your image for advanced blending and different compositions. You can add text to your image. You can add different shapes. You can add rectangles, circles, and so on. You can download the image once again to your local files, or you can delete the image. These are some of the tools that you can use. Right here on the top, we have more options that you can play around with. If we click right here on Stylize, we have these other options on the right. And as I was telling you, you can upload an image as a reference for the software to understand which kind of style you are looking for, or you can use one of the examples that the software has already uploaded. You can, for example, make it a sketch, you can make it more floral, you can make it in autumn colors, and so on. You can use any of these options right here. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna upload an image with the style of Vincent van Gogh. So this would be the style reference for this image that I've uploaded. On the bottom, you can select how many images you want to create using this tool. The more images that you create, the more credits that you use. I'm gonna leave it at 2, and I'm gonna click on create. And these are the two options that the software created. Let's check out the first one. As you see, it changed the palette and the colors a bunch. They are much closer to what a Van Gogh painting would look like. We have much brighter colors. We have almost greenish colors on the sand right here. The sky is much bluer. The mountains are more green, and the sea looks more than a painting that on the original picture. And this is option number 2, where we can see clearly that this bottom part was made to look much more like a painting, and the part on the top doesn't look that much like a painting, but is much brighter. Let's try with a different image. Let's delete this one, and let's try now with a portrait. This is a portrait of myself on one of my bike rides. Once again, we can upload a reference style. I'm gonna be using another Van Gogh painting, but one that has a face in it. Let's see what the software does with these other kinds of pictures. So these are the two images that the software created. This is the first one. As you see, the facial hair is very reminiscent of a Van Gogh painting. The background as well. The hand and the clothing all look much more like a Van Gogh painting. I really like this image. It looks very much like what I wanted to create. As you see, it's very different from the original image. And option number 2 is very similar. It just changed a bit the color of the eyes and the background. As you see right here, there is just one house, and on this other image there are two. So we can play around exactly how we want the background to be. And this wall right here is much more abstract, let's say, on picture number 2 than it is on picture number 1. The helmet was changed a bit too. Now, as a third example, I'm gonna use an image of one of my cats. This would be the image that we're gonna be using. And once again, I wanna make it in a Van Gogh kind of style. Let's once again use this portrait image. Let's click on create and see what interesting stuff the software does. So the software produced these two different options. It doesn't look that much like a painting, like it did with the portrait, the previous portrait, but it really applied the palette of the colors of the original image. It made some paintings on the background, as you see right here. My cat itself looks like a mixture of a picture and a painting. The fur on the cat looks more realistic than a painting would, as well as the fabric on the bed right here. And on the other option, what it changed was the background a bit, like in the portrait example. But the fur, the eyes, and the bed are much like the first option. All in all, I really like the image because it applied the style that I was looking for. You could use this image in a Van Gogh reference. That was pretty much it, how to use the Stylize feature in OpenArt. There are a bunch of different AI tools that you can play around with the software. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I want to read all of your comments down below to check out how you've used this software. I find it really fun to play around with all of the different options that you can use the software with. I've just created basically a Van Gogh painting using an AI tool and using my face and some other different images. You can upload any kind of style reference that you want to use, and the final image will relate to that style on the final product. The software is really easy to use, it's really intuitive. I just took like 10 minutes to create the image that I wanted to use. There is no limit, you just have to play around with your curiosity. And there are a bunch of different scenarios where you can use this tool. For example, if you're a teacher and you're teaching different styles, different art styles, you can ask your students in which art style a specific image is, but this is just one of the many examples that come to mind where you want to use this software for educational purposes or for personal or job related purposes. I really invite you guys to use the software. Once again, it is called OpenArt. If you want to use one of the paid plans, there are some affiliate links on the description box down below for you to use. My name is Santiago. I'm really glad that you saw this tutorial. This is tutorial number 2. We have 3 more to go regarding this software. So if you don't want to miss out any of them, I really invite you to subscribe to the channel. I want to read all of your comments down below. And without further ado, see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.